Hello, I'm LuAnn Kilday, Education Coordinator at the New Mexico Farm and Ranch Heritage Museum. And today I'm going to show you a demonstration on how you can weave on a cardboard loom. So you're going to need your loom, yarn, popsicle stick, a pair of scissors, and we're going to weave something like this. And I will show you how you can take it off your loom. And you can set it on your table, you can put your cups on it, use it as a mug rug. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is take your popsicle stick and grab one of your balls of yarn, and we're going to wind it around the popsicle stick, okay? And I have two edges that I cut into that will hold the yarn, and you just wrap it around the popsicle stick. And you wrap it until you can't wrap anymore. Do a couple more. And then we're going to cut it. We grab our loom right here. And we're going to go ahead and start weaving. You can start on the left side or the right side, whatever you'd like. And we're basically going to go over, under, and we're just going to alternate. So I'm going to go under the first warp, over the second, under the third, over, under, over, and we pull that yarn through. I leave a tail, okay? I'm going to pack it down with my hands, and that tail, do you see how it's under that first warp thread? I'm going to go ahead and put it over it, under the next one, over the third, and under the fourth. We're just going to kind of hide it in there, okay? And so now we're going to go back, and we're going to go the opposite. So I'm going to go under, over. So every time we go around this end warp, you're always going to catch it. So that'll tell you if you need to go under it or over it. So in this case, I go under, then over, under, over, pull it through. And I need to make sure that I don't pull it too tight. Okay? Sorry, my tail's kind of in the way. So we're just going to keep it a little bit loose. Okay? And we're going to keep going. Under, over. And just let that popsicle stick guide that yarn through those warp threads. See, I didn't go real tight. And pack it down. So let me go ahead and continue weaving this, and then I'll show you what we need to do when we get to the top. Okay, so I have done some weaving until I ran out of yarn. So I'm going to have a tail here, and I'm just going to go ahead and tuck that tail in there. You can see it goes over this last warp thread. So I'm going to go under, over, under, over. And I'm just going to place that little tail towards the back, okay? So it's back here behind my warp threads, all right? I've gone ahead and wound some yarn on my popsicle stick, and I'm going to go in where I ended, about 2 warp strands behind it or over. So I ended right here. I'm going to count 1, 2, and so I'm going to go ahead and start under this one, over, under, and pull it through. Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and tuck that tail to the back. And we'll deal with those when we're done. And then we just keep weaving, alternating over, under. Okay. Okay. And once we get this all covered in yarn, and I want you to really pack this yarn down. So the more you pack it down, the thicker or more dense it's going to be. So you won't see any of these warp threads underneath. So you really want to pack that down. Okay. And so you can use any of the yarn in your kit. The yarn that's gray is actually hand spun Navajo churro from our museum ram. So I thought that would be nice if you wanted to work that in somewhere in your weaving. So when you get it all woven, where you can't do any more at the top, so I've already went ahead and wove this one. I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to cut the warp threads right down the middle, okay? So go ahead and just cut them. And then you turn it over and you take every 2 threads and all you're going to do is tie them together. Okay, I'll do one more. So you take the 2 threads and I'm just going to hold them all, the 2 threads together, and make a loop, pull it through the loop like a slip knot, okay? And make it tight. So let me go ahead and finish knotting this and I'll show you my final product. So I went ahead and took my little mug rug off the loom and I flipped it over to the back. So I went ahead and I made knots on the ends, and you should have an even pair as well of 2, 2, 2, and 2 strands that you tie together. I'm going to go ahead and look for pieces of yarn that are sticking out in the back, and all I'm going to do is cut those off. Okay, there's one here. Okay, and so this will be your finished product, and you can go ahead if you want to make another one. All you're going to do is you just need to warp this cardboard plate, and it should be durable where you can make several of these without it breaking. So you just take yarn, it's already slit with the where you put the warp threads. You start in the back, you go through the first slit, go around, and you just wrap it around and around and around. And then on the ends, all I did was put some Scotch tape here to hold it, okay? And then you can go ahead and weave another one. So hopefully you enjoyed this project, and hopefully you'll want to make some more. Thank you.